With a Free Motion Friday little tip for you. So oftentimes when I'm doing my borders, I like to use an up and a down and an up and a down, and I usually like to have an odd number because that way I can have my corners pointing up and out, and then I can have a down and up and a down and up, and then it fits in the other corner again. And so somewhere in the middle you want a center point again. So an odd number works best for this. But whether I'm doing flowers or I'm doing stars or whatever little squiggly thing, I oftentimes like to try to use the corners of the blocks for my spacing. And then that way I can just free motion and I don't have to do a lot of planning and thinking and measuring and math. And that's the thing about Free Motion Friday. You want it to be nice and easy and flowing. So anyway, if you have just the right number of blocks, so you can use those spots for your up and your down and your up and your down, that works really well. So I was explaining earlier about borders and how I mark them, and so I'm going to show you a few things. My favorite way to mark, if it's not on the quilt itself, are with these friction highlight markers. These are wonderful, but don't use it on the fabric. Don't use it on the quilt top because it may or may not completely erase all the way. But if it's going to be in the batting or something like that, oh, I love these. They're so nice. I started out using the friction ball pens. I don't like those very well. Don't get those. But yeah, I don't like them as well. There are a few other things that are handy dandy. There are some marking pens that evaporate over time, or you can use water with them. I personally don't like to ever wash client quilts, so I don't like to use a product where I have to use water and things might bleed and they might not go away all the way. Some of the nice things to use though are chalk pencils. There's lots of different chalk pencil systems, and these are really nice. These are from Dixon and I like them really well. If I'm using a dark fabric, oh my goodness, then my next most favorite thing is using a chubby crayon by Miracle Chalk. It's a chalk, but it's a crayon and it erases with heat. These erase with heat and these erase with heat. So you just use your iron and it takes it away. It's really, really nice. So today, as we were mentioning earlier in the video, when I have a border and I am stitching in some cute little design, what I like to do is use an odd number. So I have matching out in the corners and I have something in the center and then one or two in the middle depending on how long the border is. But here I have 5 and I'm using stars today, and I just wanted to show you how I mark things. So as I was saying earlier, I have one facing up and one facing out and one facing in and one facing out and so on. So when I'm marking a star, I want to know where my top is that my connecting is to. And so I'm going to have an in and an out and then an in and an out. And I don't need to draw the entire star. I need to know where I am going next. In some of our previous videos where I've talked about free motion quilting, you're starting someplace, but you really want to know where do I want to end up. And so on marking these borders too, I want to mark where I'm starting, and then I'm going to do the little twirlies in between and then do my next star. So I'm going to have the top of the star here, and then I'm going to have the top of the star here. So anyway, I'm going to quilt. I'm at the inside of this quilt border coming around, and I'm going to go out for a leg, in for a hand, over for the other hand, out for the other leg, and come back up to the top. I'm going to do a little twirly, and here's the start again of the star. A foot, a hand, a foot, back to the top, and then we do 3 twirlies. An in and an out and an in. And now, regardless of where I actually marked the top, I mainly want to know that that is the top, but I'm going to have binding on here, so I don't want to get too terribly close to that edge, but I want to be able to see where everything is. So okay, we're at the top of the head here. We're going to go for a foot now. So we go to a foot and a hand and a hand and a foot, back out to the top of the star, and then I'm going to advance my quilt before I mark and do the rest. But if you come back over here again, so I'm not actually following the exact mark of the star. I just want to know where I need to go, and those markings are there just for reference. And then I'm going to free motion it, because it's a Free Motion Friday, and then I'm going to come back with my iron, and I'm going to erase them all. And it's so quick and easy. So anyway, give it a try, and then comment on how it worked for you, and let me know. So yeah, come back and see me again. Toodaloo.